sure you go check it out. Hey, leave us a word. Let us know what we need to do. How can we get better? How can we improve? What do you like about the show? What you dislike about the show? That's what it's all about because it's all about Discord. And we take all comments seriously. Well, not all, but some we do. But thank you. Thank you guys again. Giannis Antetokounmpo returned tonight in a 108-81 blowout loss to the Celtics. And the Celtics did this without JB, who's an MVP candidate. In his first game in more than 5 weeks after straining that right calf, Giannis had 19 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists in the defeat. I think he's played about 27 minutes. He sat out the past 15 games after injuring himself on January the 23rd. Doc said in pregame that he would return on a minutes restriction. He ended up playing 25 minutes, not 27. Joe, you see where the Bucks are. The Bucks are... They way back. Therefore, Charlotte's in the 10 spot, and they're 4 games back of Charlotte. Detroit's 1, Boston's 2, the Knicks are 3, Cavs are 4, Toronto is 5, 76ers are 6, Orlando is 7th, 8th is Miami. Atlanta Hawks are 9, and the Charlotte Hornets are 10. Milwaukee's way back. Considering that he's been out 5 weeks, he's missed 15 games, how did you think Giannis looked in his return?
Anytime you take that much time off, Uncle Ocho, you're gonna be a little rusty. I mean, that's just what it is. You can tell. But I thought Boston just, without JB, man, it's such a well-oiled engine that just run, plug and play guys. Different guys step up and make plays. But I think it's gonna take some time for Giannis. They got a pretty decent roster. Uncle Ocho, I don't understand why they're outside of the play-in. I feel like that they're good enough to at least be in the play-in. So I expect Giannis to pick it up, and have a late surge to try to get them in the play-in so they can make some noise in the playoffs. But they're first-round exit, guys. First-round exit.
That's how you feel, Joe? It ain't nothing.
Yeah. Ocho, they rely so much on Giannis putting up these gaudy numbers, bro. And he's been out. He's going to be rusty. Yeah, he'll get back to form to where he's averaging 30 and getting 15 rebounds. But, man, he's going to need some consistency from them guys around him. They're going to have to step up and make plays and play big in order for those guys to even make a run in the playoffs. So I guess we'll see what happens.
This is when you know a team is really, really good and really, really deep. You look at OKC, the way they played without Shea.
Yeah.
You look at the way Boston play when they're without JB. That's when you know. You see, they don't play like, oh, man, JB's not in there. Oh, we can't win this. Giannis is coming back.
Man, please.
They blew him out by 27. You look at OKC and what they do when Shea is not in the lineup or when J-Dub is not in the lineup. It does not matter. We don't care who's in the lineup. We don't care who's out of the lineup. We care who's in the lineup.
Right.
And it is our job. It's incumbent upon us to go out there and play whether Shea, J-Dub's in the lineup, whether JB or Quato's in the lineup. It does not matter. We're going to play our asses off. And you see, it is very reflective of that when you look at Boston and when they play. You like, ain't no way they got no business beating Milwaukee by 27 without an MVP candidate. There's no way OKC should still be atop without a league MVP, and he's probably the front runner again for the MVP.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you the depth in which they have and how these guys take it serious. By Boston, and again, Pritchard. Doing what Pritchard does.
Yeah.
Doing what Pritchard does.
Yeah. 25-9. That's off the bench. 25-9. Off the bench. So, and I was wondering why they didn't start him, but they probably wanted their spark plug to come in just in case, things didn't start off right. So I'm giving Joe Mazzulla, the head coach for the Boston Celtics, Uncle Ocho, I'm giving him a lot of credit. Although the players got to go out there and compete and play in between the lines. But, man, he has a mean scheme, bro, for them to be successful night in and night out. No matter who suits up, Boston's always going to be in it. Now, before the season started, a lot of people, even including myself, I didn't think they would be in the position that they're in right now.
Me too. Me too.
But
ain't no happy to hold you. Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
You trade Porzingis. Horford leaves in free agency. You trade Holiday. And I'm supposed to think, and without Tatum, who's a perennial All-NBA selection, a perennial All-Star. So without that and all that, what you get, what all you moved on, because clearly you thought you weren't going to be in that position. That's why you gave those guys up.
Right. Or unless they knew something that we didn't know, they knew that
might be also it, Joe.
But I think Jalen JB has showed everybody why he was, Finals MVP. Uncle Ocho, he could potentially win the MVP this year with the numbers that he's putting up, with the success that they're having as a team. Man, Boston's gonna be a scary team in the postseason, fellas. Not a lot of people gonna want to play them, man. They playing great basketball right now.
You know what? You think they will still be the same? Obviously, when Jason Tatum does come back, does that throw the rhythm and the camaraderie off a little bit? With the way they're playing.
Yeah. I think it'll take some adjusting because, I think at some point those guys will, to some degree, kind of defer to Tatum.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's a pecking order. And it could throw everybody off the rhythm. So you never know how that'll pan out. Maybe he comes back, maybe he don't. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm sitting down. The last thing you want to do, Joe. Because sometimes, you got to protect an athlete. We want to play. That's what we do. We dreamed of this our entire lives. And when we get this opportunity, we ain't trying, because once it's over, it's over. But the last thing you want to do is to go out there and re-injure yourself.
Man.
Because of why? Because you tried to prove that I could come back from a serious injury in 6 months, in 8 months, in 9 months. For me, the reward doesn't outweigh the risk.
Right.
That's just for me. Now, he might see it a whole different way. The Celtics organization might see it entirely different way. But for me, okay, we could win a championship. Okay, you could. But what happens if you re-injure that?
Absolutely.
Now what?
Absolutely.
For me, JT got another decade in him. The last thing you want to do is have that type of injury there. So me personally, I think, and it's hard, it's easy to say from the outside sitting in, because we've all sat in that athlete's chair, and we've all been dinged, and we've all okay, the best thing for me is to play. Because I already know I only got so many, there's only so many 16 games, Ocho, seasons I got in me.
Right.
And it's good. Hey, once you hit 5, once you hit 10, you closer to the end of the beginning. You ain't about to have, everybody think they're going to have a Tom Brady type career. Everybody think they're going to play Aaron Rodgers. They're going to play 20, 21 seasons. You're not.
Nah.
Be thankful. 3.3 years, that's about the average of an NFL career. Most NFL players are done at the age of 27.
Yeah.
You live to 75, so what? That means you got 48 years left of your life.
We don't look at it like that, though.
You don't. Because so much of what you've done your entire life has prepared you to do what, Joe? Play basketball.
Right.
Ocho, do what? Play football. Yep. And so you're kind of tied to that. And you think you're like a doctor or a lawyer. Man, I'll be doing this when I'm 60. No, you're not.
Right.
You might be talking about it when you're 60, but you damn sure ain't going to be playing it.
Right.
And so you got to get, and that's why I always tell guys, maximize this. Make sure you never look back, because the last thing you want to do is when you 40, Ocho, man, if I had just prepared a little. How many times we heard guys, man, if I'd have just did this a little, or ain't no telling what I could have done.
Man.
We all got homeboys. Man, Joe, if I'd have just did like you, Joe, went home and not tried to do this, Ocho, and just hung on the street, hung on the corner, man, Ocho, tell him I could have been with you. Tell him, Ocho, tell him I could have been with you, Ocho.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. We all know them cats.
Yeah, so you don't want to have that regret. But Boston has surprised a lot of people, Joe, because I was one like, well, they're not doing it, and I was thinking that's why they're selling off these pieces. I said they're selling off these pieces because they know they ain't got no chance. So why go into that second apron? Why have to pay $100 million, $250 million with no chance? JB said, wait a damn minute, I'm still here.
Yeah,
I'm a Finals MVP. I'm an Eastern Conference MVP. What you mean we ain't got no chance?
Hold on. And the funny thing about it too, Joe, if you think about it, maybe they did see this coming. Maybe they did see it coming, which is why they let those pieces go, because they understood even though Tatum is hurt, we believe there's a good chance, depending on who you ask, that JB might be our best player. Even though there may be a pecking order, even though the people on the outside or those that are part of the NBA culture might see it differently, at Jason Tatum, being the best player. But hell, JB, maybe inside the organization, you're like, well, hell, JB done showed us enough. We can let these pieces go and know that we're still going to be in contention.
Yeah, I agree, Ocho. Depending on who you ask, definitely, you'll definitely have a pretty good argument. But, I think the Celtics went younger fellas. I think they gave up a lot of those older guys and Holiday and Horford and Porzingis. And they had development of a lot of young cats who've stepped in this year and has played great throughout this whole entire season. So I commend them, man. It's fun to see those guys go out night in and night out and compete at the highest level. And JB taking the challenge every night. I know he didn't play tonight, but he's been playing awesome.
I think the thing is Porzingis stays hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the problem. I mean, I'm paying $25 to $27 million for what, Joe, to get 10, 15 games a year? Hope he comes back. He missed 20 games. He comes back for 5. He missed another 15. Okay, well, he's gonna miss the first round of playoffs, hopefully, and then we get him 2 games in the second round, and then we don't see him again to the finals. And it's not worth it. And as you said, Holiday was getting on up there in age. Al Horford is on up there in age. Hell, Al Horford got to be damn near 40. I think Al Horford came out, 2006, 2007? Because I think won back-to-back titles in, 5 and 6? I think, but Al Horford's got to be like 20. Joe, he played with you here.
Yeah, he played with me. Al got to at least be 40. I think I'm probably 4 or 5 years older than him. So I think he got to at least be 40. But yeah, man, they've done a great job, and it takes some of that salary down too, because those guys making big money. These young cats they got, these guys ain't making the type of money that Holiday and Al and Porzingis was making. But to your point, Porzingis, since the finals run, since the year they won it, he came in and played in that finals run. Yeah. Ever since then, he hadn't been the same. He came here to Atlanta, and I think he has like some type of I don't want to misquote it, but I think like some type of respiratory infection that kind of has him sick a lot. So it's hard. That's why you hadn't seen him play none for the Hawks pretty much this year. And he got traded to Golden State. I'm sure he probably won't even play for them no more. His career could potentially be over, fellas.
Well, you know what, guys? He really has never been the same since he tore that ACL, because I was reading where they said a guy tearing his ACL. I don't know if they'd ever seen a guy that tall actually tear his ACL. So you're asking someone 7'3" and a half, Joe, and look, he could shoot the ball. He was a great rim protector, a weak side defender. And for whatever reason, and when you start getting that tall, there's only a handful of people. They might not be. How many 7-footers you think there are of 8 billion people? They might not be 100 of them in the world.
Amen.
So, and when you start having those injuries, so what is our study? They got studies. Okay, somebody this size, this height, and this weight. This is the recovery time. But when you don't have someone to go off of, it ain't very many 7-footers that you can go study and says, okay, he tore his ACL, or he tore an Achilles, or he had this, and the studies say it's hard to find those guys like that. But I think Boston, they looked at it like this, Joe and Ocho. They said, hold on, why are we going to go into luxury tax when there's not a chance for us? Because I think if they thought they had a realistic chance, I think, we probably could stomach it. But they did sell the team, and probably the new owners like, well, hell nah, y'all not finna strap us with that burden.
Right.
Get those pieces up out of here.
Absolutely.
Hey, we just spent $6.4 billion, a little over $6 billion or whatever they spent, and then you wanted to come in and take on another $150, $200 million. Oh, and we got 2 guys that's making $300. Right. Oh no! Y'all got to get up off some of them pieces. Yeah. And so that was a part of it, but considering how well JB's played, all it does is that when they come back, when JT comes back in 26, 27, I think they move to the front of the line. No matter how the season's in for Detroit, I think with JT and JB, with the way coming off the bench is Pritchard, and you got Derek White, I think they would be the favorite, at least representing the Eastern Conference. Now, if OKC wins, OKC is going to be the favorite again. But that's my thoughts on that. The Rockets beat the Wizards 123-118. Trae Young earned his first ejection with the new teams before even making his debut with the Wizards. Trae was ejected when he